I'm Navya, and welcome to another interview of Talks with TEC. I'm here with my friends Ekta and Gibran. Okay, so who doesn't like dogs? Okay, my bad. Stupid question. Everyone loves dogs. And all dog lovers are fully aware of how difficult it can be to choose what and what not to feed your dogs. So most people feed food that isn't safe for dogs, as it turns out to be very toxic and poisoning for them. So with a different metabolism, dogs aren't able to fully digest what we eat, thereby creating a huge problem for them. But hey, this adorable human and talented baker from Mumbai has got it all sorted for you. A professional baker and dog lover has taken it upon herself to make dogs treats. Barker's Dozen, her delicious idea, is now cooking treats, especially for your dogs. So she offers an array of options, both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. And her baking is not restricted to feed hunger pangs. She also bakes tarts with a mincemeat filling, and yes, she makes brownies too. And in hindsight, as she understands human needs too, we can all take a quick bite of all her products. Please welcome one and only mother of dogs, Akansha Arora. What a
Hi
dog
guys.
heaven! I can't wait to take my poodles there. Let us know how exciting you are.
Hi guys. Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
We are all great, ma'am.
Please call me Akanksha.
Okay. Okay, so can we begin with the questions whenever you
Y-
are ready?
Yes, definitely.
So we wanted to know what inspired you the most to start Barker's Dozen. How did it all begin?
Well, it started by sheer coincidence. So this goes back to 1996. I was a child. I had my first dog. We lost him quite early on, and I mean, that time we didn't have a lot of information, anything out there. And being a child, I mean, I was inquisitive as why lost my dog so fast. And obviously, we were all in a state of shock. Um, Later on, after doing a lot of research, after having more dogs, we realized that, oh, it was the food that had caused early death for my dog. Topic was left there. It was always on the back of my mind that, oh, there has to be an answer. There has to be something for better out there for dogs. And why are we giving this food specially? I mean, just because somebody is recommending it, but what proof do you have that it's good? I mean, I have proof that it's not good, right? But we left that. I went to the US. I became a certified pastry chef for humans. I came back. I started making these. So I used to. I also did my pet nutrition course over there. Just something that I wanted to do because I was in the US, and why not? So when I came back, I started making not only for humans, I started making something for pets, which is completely organic, preservative free, and something that suited my then dog. And I used to make so much of it before I went back to the US that my mom and my cousins used to start giving to their friends. So through word of mouth, when I came back for good, I started getting calls. Hey, Akanksha used to make those treats. Can we have some of them? And I said, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm making for my dogs. Might as well. I kept, and every time I got more and more calls asking for those treats that their dog loved and it didn't upset their stomach, and the dog loved it. So I said, okay, I have to see what is going on. I mean, why are so many people calling me, and how is it like so little info out there? So on doing a lot of research, I realized that there's a huge vacuum in the market when it comes to organic, human grade, chemical free food. I mean, people even know about the difference between what exactly is human grade. So I said, okay, fine, I have to, because this is the perfect profession for me. This is my passion and profession mixed together. Like, this is my ultimate dream. What I would do, something for animals, like something for dogs. So then, yeah, the journey started of Barker's Dozen. It all started with word of mouth. I did my research. I keep on studying more and more. I got all these treats and food vet approved. I gave them for lab testing. Only then did it come on my menu, and now we are where we are.
Hmm. This is an amazing journey how everything started. So you have a human pastry bakery as well.
No, I because the demand for the pet bakery grew so much that I said, okay, fine, there's too much out there for humans, nothing out there for pets. So my complete dedication is for only dogs and cats now.
That's amazing. So there are a lot of companies that produces dog food, but your concept is really very different. So what from your side makes Bacchus dozen very unique?
So our USP is filler-free and chemical-free food. We always, so our products always made in small batches. We do test each and every batch. We are not, so whatever is there in the food is the information is available to every pet parent out there. And human grade is our USP. So when I say human grade, I mean you can try it because in a lot of these mass produced food you'll see in small little letters that oh only for dog consumption, and I'm like, why? I mean, if it is all food and it is food, then I should be able to taste it. There's something going on in there that is not right. So please feel free, like that I always tell my clients, please feel free to take a bite out of this, see how it is. And I mean there's nothing, so it's really beneficial for them only because we only use the freshest of ingredients, the ingredients that we use for ourselves. I mean, not everything. I mean, we can't use chocolates and salt and sugar, but ingredients that are safe for dogs to eat. And nothing is hidden from our clients because they need to know what is going in their dog's stomach, right? So each and everything is it's pretty transparent with my clients.
That's very nice. So your packages and the products that you sell out, it is available all across the India or like only in Mumbai?
So all our treats and jerkies and so the dried products are available pan India. It's available on our website and other e-commerce platforms. We are hopefully very soon going to be on Amazon. So it's going to be available pan India. Things like cakes and fresh food is available only in Bombay for now.
Yeah, because it can't actually sell out across
Exactly.
India,
I wish there
cakes
was a
and stuff.
way I could have said it.
Okay, from the time you have been working in Bacchus Dozen till today, what all ups and downs that came your way and like what kept you going?
Wow. Okay, so there have been a lot of downs and a lot of ups. But the ups obviously trump over the downs only because my clients are dogs. I mean, what better thing can I look forward to every day? Like I have to serve dogs, and they are the most honest critiques of mine. If they don't like it, they don't like it. So I know exactly. So if they are happy, that just makes my day. In terms of downs, when I was starting this, firstly, a pastry chef changing her profession completely to go into dog food when it wasn't even a huge thing. So I got a lot of people saying, "You studied from the US, कुत्ते के बिस्किट बनाने के लिए? Are you serious? What is wrong with you? Cakes bana in Sinoclean." And that time, the best thing I could do is just say, okay, okay, fine, that's your opinion. It's fine. I've had issues when it came to we started from my I started from my parents' kitchen. That's where I started Barker's Dozen, and then we slowly moved on to moving into a commercial kitchen. So to get the licenses to I needed well, I personally wanted to get every license, every I wanted to be in I wanted to follow each and every rule that is there for a human bakery because I did not want to mess with standards. It has to be perfect. I mean nothing because just because they're dogs doesn't mean that you give them anything. The standards, the sanitation, everything has to be followed to the T. But starting it wasn't easy. Licenses weren't easy. uh, Getting people to listen to you wasn't easy because a new concept and people firstly don't want to listen to a new concept, and then secondly a girl coming and talking and every time speaking and saying please don't feed that to the dog, it's not good, you will face this issue, try this, just trying to give some knowledge. It obviously people are not very accepting at first till it becomes a trend. Then it becomes a trend and it's easy. But until then, they will judge you, they will criticize you, they will say, oh, it's rubbish. I rather buy the 20 rupees packages that I'm getting outside. You face all kinds of issues. And I faced each and every one of them. I faced losses. I faced times that I had to shut my business for a while because I was waiting for my license. I mean, it was a struggle, but all in all, I mean, the positives were the driving force was my family who kept on pushing me that you're doing it for the better of the dogs. You want to start something that will stay, that will be there at least even after you, that you feed better, you feed your dogs better. Everybody loves their dogs and you don't want your dogs to go away soon. And this will help them live a happier, fuller life. So you have to keep going at it. Just let you fall down, but you have to come back up. So my dogs, my family were the driving force behind it.
Yeah, a very inspiring story you have. Until and unless your family isn't supporting, then that's the time you
Exactly.
feel like gone.
Exactly, right?
Okay, so we all know that dogs' love is very unconditional, and many therapists suggest to have a dog. Since you have been working in this area for a long, long time, caring about dogs, so far the journey, what changes have you observed on a personal note?
So a great deal, firstly. I've Dogs are really essential for every single human being. It just makes them better. Dogs make you better. I mean, they love you as if you are the best person. You want to be a better person, right? The journey with dogs has been amazing. Not only have I learned so much about them, but I've learned so much about myself in a way that I interact on a daily basis with dogs. I have five right now. I have five at home, and I mean, it's just a positive feeling constantly. They know when you're upset. Even on my worst days, when I have my dogs around, I know it's going to be fine because there's so much of love. And how can you say sad around dogs? It's just not possible. So yes, I mean, it's highly recommended. They are the best therapists out there. They are the best thing that can happen to you, and everybody should experience this because you will realize what unconditional love is and how much it really affects you as a person, how much you change as a person when it comes to patience, how you see other beings. Because if he can love you so much, she can love you so much without understanding you, your language, you can obviously be a better person overall to other beings, right? So this is something that I feel has been that I learned from dogs.
How do you manage having five dogs at your place?
I have a big family. I've given four, so four stay with my parents, my sisters, cousins, everybody are there, and one stays with me and my husband, who we've adopted 2 years back. So yeah, I mean, it just manages. Like, they don't really, they're nice, they're very good children. So they don't really need much. They just need love. Yeah. So it's not difficult at all.
Good, very nice. I really inspired by your stories, and everyone loves dog, but then there are so many like our parents don't love to keep dogs, and then our grandparents don't love to keep dogs. There are so many issues.
It just, I feel like what happens is it's just a mental block because you've not kept. Once you keep, so my in-laws have never kept dogs. They've not been used to it since the time Shiro, my poodle, has come into our lives. I mean, you should see the transformation. He's just grown on them. So there are some days that they say, "You don't come, it's okay, but you leave him and go because we have to see him." He's our, and they are the people who are really, really scared. So I think it's just that one mental block. Once they have a dog, then there is
Agree.
no stopping. Then there is no stopping them. Then they're like, there is a constant connection.
Yeah, true. Then, what are your thoughts on crime against dogs that is happening around the world?
I think in India and abroad, they should make laws more stringent. I mean, obviously, I would, if I could take matters into my hands, I would be brutal with people. I mean, the people who've been horrible to animals, to dogs, and you see these cases day in and day out, and how lightly it is taken in our judicial system. Like the offense is if you kill a dog, you get to only pay 50 rupees and get away with it. I'm sorry. it's not. It should be as bad as it should be attempt to murder for how you would charge a human being for sorry, how you would charge a person for an attempted murder on a human being. It should be charged that severely. So that is something. I mean, and one thing is that there is no need for you to be horrible to an animal. You don't like them, walk away. There is no reason for you to hurt or kill an animal just because for the fun of it, firstly. Secondly, because you don't like a dog. I mean, that dog is not coming to you to ask you to play with it or not. It's just something that I don't know how it's not registered in people's head. Like, would you do that to your child or anybody's child? So clearly don't do that to a dog or a cat. I mean, just walk away. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, true. In fact, dogs are the most loyal creature that has been up in this world till
Exactly.
date.
Yeah.
Let's come to our rapid fire round. We
Oh,
finished with our main round,
okay.
and so yeah, I'll tell you the main points what need to be kept in mind while we are playing having our rapid fire round. You will be
Hmm.
given like the 5 seconds to think and 10 seconds to answer the question.
Okay.
You need to be really very quick while answering the questions.
Hmm. Okay.
So we'll start when you are actually ready with it.
I mean, I'm as ready as I can be, so let's just go ahead.
What do you love to do rather than spending time with dogs?
Watch TV. Like, I really love it.
What? Okay. Then if one day you get an opportunity to live like a dog and you wake up as a dog for a day, which breed you would love to prefer to become?
I would love to be my Shiro toy poodle because he has the most lavish, luxurious life. I would love it that my slaves are around me, serving me food. I get to sleep whenever I want. I don't have to bother about anything. I would love to be a toy poodle and sleep through during the day. And I'll have my servants serving me and my husband, who are his constant slaves. So I would love that. I would love to be him.
Okay, so now you wake up as a dog and you have lived a day, okay? And then which celebrity or who's that one person you would love to cuddle with as a dog?
Oh, I like Jason Momoa. I mean, why not? Yeah. That Khal Drogo, I love him. He's brilliant.
Okay, then 90% of the dog lovers have at least tasted dog food for once. So tell us about your memorable moment and your experience when you had it and
Which kind of dog food are we talking about? The kind that I make or the
any
ones that are
kind.
available? My first experience was when I was a child. Yeah, so that is the most memorable one. Has to be. We gave my pom that time the packaged food, and he refused to eat it. And my mom used to. So my mom was pretty strict with my dog because my dog was very naughty. Well, all of us were. So my mom used to come and check his food and say, you better eat this food." And I thought, I didn't want to eat. He used to love eating my food. So I said, okay, best chance. I gave him my food and I went and took a spoon and I started gulping his food down. That was the most putrid thing that I have ever tried. It was nasty, and my mom couldn't understand why I'm throwing up so much. And then finally, I revealed the truth, and then obviously, as you can imagine, how any mother would react. It didn't go down well for my dog and me, both of us. We got punishments.
Okay, so this baker's dozen is itself such an amazing concept altogether. So I could imagine the menu would be so exciting. We would like to know menu options from Baker's dozen for your pets.
Yeah, so we have cakes. We have cakes and cupcakes that we cater for birthday parties. We have treats, so we have biscuits. This is amazing for training and as a snack. So instead of giving Mari biscuit or Parle-G off your table, this is something that will benefit their health and also tasty. We have jerky, so they are dehydrated single ingredient meats, which is not only helpful as a snack, but it can also be mixed in food to for the families for the vegetarian families that cannot get proteins at home, meats at home. These are the easiest options that clients take. Because it's dried, it does not smell, and you shouldn't. I mean, it doesn't look like the meat that it was. So they can just mix it in the dog's food bowl, and it is perfect. We also have fresh food that we make for pets. So we have weekly deliveries that go out for them, and we have lastly supplements. So bone meal. So people, obviously, some people don't like, some dogs can't chew bones, but we make bone powder, organ meal. So people who can't make things at home, they just have to add it in a little bit of quantity to give the nutrients that are needed to the dog. So yeah, a lot of five categories, I guess.
I was just going through your website on Google and I saw so many. I was actually feeling like eating it, everything up. It was so tasty. It looked so tasty. Even the dogs wearing that birthday caps and the cake and all. It looks so cute.
I mean, birthday parties are, dog birthdays are going up, and how I have never ever think, I don't think I've ever put so much of effort for my own or my brother or my husband's birthday as much as I did for Shiro or my other pets' birthdays, because we had people over, they had varieties of cupcakes and cakes and tarts and whatnot. I mean, it's a fancy affair now.
So when do we celebrate your Shiro's birthday?
His birthday is on 18th April.
Okay, so he's how many years old now?
He is 2. Sorry, 24th April. Oh God,
Okay.
I mixed it with my Labrador's birthday. His is 18th Feb and Shiro is 24th April. Oh God, I'm not gonna hear the end of this now.
We're gonna tell Shiro about it now.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
record the whole session. Shiro's
he's
gonna
giving me
know that you
judgment.
missed his birthday.
It's fine as long as I get cake twice.
Yeah, that's a treat.
So yeah, 24th April, and he turned 2 this year.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
what all he eats in a day?
So he's a very fussy boy, and because he knows his mother owns this kitchen where we produce dog food, he can be the choosiest fussiest that he can. He's the fussiest dog I've ever seen. So he eats quail, he eats duck, he eats chicken, he eats mutton. So in a day, we have to change his proteins because, okay, so one of the very important information that I keep telling pet clients is change the protein that you're giving your dog, because they will become intolerant to it and they will start having rashes and all. So this is a very important thing that I keep on pushing in people's head, that please change the proteins, keep giving new proteins. So Shiro, because he's Shiro, he does not repeat his meats. If I give him chicken in the morning, I can't repeat chicken in the evening. So I have to,
Oh,
his evening snack is maybe pork, or it has to be maybe peanut butter biscuits. And in the evening, then I have to give him a different protein. So yeah, the variety is endless when it comes to my pet.
too choosy he is.
Yeah, and he thinks it's his birthright because he owns this company. So he can say no, and he says, "What have you cooked?" and he just walks away from there. So I'm like, "Oh God."
What are the three things that need to be kept in mind while you are feeding your dog?
Okay, so the three very important things are: make sure your pet's food bowl is balanced. Balance, I don't mean that you give roti, sabzi, dal. That doesn't mean that works for us. Dogs can't have grains. They don't need grains. There are other ways of substituting carbs in their diet. So balance it out. If you don't have an idea, there are a lot of amazing pet nutritionists. I'm a nutritionist. Shoot questions to me. I'll be happy to answer. There are a lot of amazing pet nutritionists out there who will make a full diet chart for you, who will guide you exactly how you want. Instead of giving something wrong, you rather take help and make the food board. So one is that. Second is keep changing proteins. Only because I have seen it personally. Keep giving the same protein time and again, they do become intolerant to it, and then there is more problems. Thirdly, please don't feed them table scraps. Don't feed them something that you eat because he's giving you puppy eyes. I mean, they will because they want to know what you're eating and they want sugar and all, but it's not good for them. So, I mean, there are amazing things out there for them. we have a huge range, and they don't really need those things. They don't need the biscuits, the chai, anything off your table. They have enough of products for them that is suitable and healthy for them. So yeah.
Very crucial 3 points you told us. Now, whenever I'll have a pet or any of us will have a pet, we'll keep these 3 things in mind, of
Please
course.
do.
And we'll surely contact you to make a diet chart for our dogs.
See, I'll be happy to help.
Okay, so we ended our interview over here, and thank you so much for joining in on with us. And all the best for your future. Hope you reach heights wherever you go. May God bless you. And
Thank
yeah,
you
thank you.
so much. It was an amazing interview. You guys are awesome. And thanks for having me. Yeah.